from Tallinn. Hope you are having a beautiful Monday, moon day, wherever you are in this beautiful world. I wanted to talk a little bit today about how burnout starts, what it's caused by, and why not being authentic to who you are kills, and why it's really detrimental to not be true and honest with yourself in your life. And I thought, as I talk about this, I would show you a beautiful tour of this gorgeous city of Tallinn. So let's go. Look at these streets, by the way. How insane are these streets? I just love walking around. The leaves are falling everywhere. There's tons of crunchy orange, yellow leaves all over the sidewalks. And I just feel autumn. It feels like autumn. It's crisp, it's cool. It's not too cold. I don't have a jacket, so it's not too cold. But I feel like I'm gonna start needing a sweater in a few days. Yeah, so let's talk about burnout. I experienced burnout earlier this year, beginning of the year. January, February, March-ish. And that was a point in my life earlier where I had to, and I've had burnout before too. I've had burnout in other years as well. But I want to share with you why authenticity matters and why it's the key to eliminating burnout before it happens. Because there's a way to avoid burnout. There's a way to stop it before it happens. And that's the key. That's the key with burnout is you don't want to notice that you're burnt out and then you stop. You need to start noticing, or you like paying attention to the warning signs before they start appearing physically in your life. Physically, the signs of burnout can look like exhaustion, not wanting to do anything, lack of motivation, lethargy, laziness, wanting to numb yourself out through escapism, whether it's media, video games, to YouTube, what have you. And it's the energy of like not being able to do anything. And I felt this earlier this year. I felt this where I had this sense of like just tiredness and exhaustion. And it was because I wasn't listening to myself. I wasn't listening to my inner voice. I wasn't trusting myself when my inner voice was screaming at me to be authentic and to be honest and to like really listen to myself and what I needed, what my body needed, what my heart need. And that's the key. When you start noticing those physical signs of burnout, it's too late. You're burnt out. You're already in the stage of burnout when you experience those signs. But there are little telltale signs that will happen before that physical reaction. The first is you will feel like when you're starting to take action on something, you'll feel this sense of dread. You'll feel this sense of, no, I don't want to do that. Even though maybe you used to love it or it's something that used to bring you joy. You will put it off time and time again. You will be frustrated at yourself for not having the excitement that you used to, not having the energy, joy, motivation, thrill of how you used to feel when you did the thing. And you will start to notice that in your mind, you'll start thinking about, but people want this. My parents want this from me. It'll make my dad really proud of me. It'll make my husband really happy. It'll make whoever happy. It'll please other people. It's what other people need. When you start telling yourself that sense of I need to do this for others, that's one of the first telltale signs, but also that feeling of dread for the sense of like, I really don't like doing this anymore. And I'm really unhappy in doing this and I need to do something different. That's another telltale sign, is when you start noticing yourself thinking, I need to try something else. I need to try something different. I need to do something different. That is one of the first signs when I start noticing burnout before it happens. Because you're not burnt out yet. You're not burnt out until you start getting those like physical side effects and that lack of motivation and the coldness, and it could even be depression, can be just an internal sadness all the time because you're not being true to yourself and you're not being honest with yourself. And so one of those first signs is like when you start doing it because other people want you to do it and you start feeling like you need to for others. And so how can we combat this? How can we stop getting burnt out, the first thing I would do is I would get really, really clear on what it is you want in your life. Like really clear. I would get a journal out. I'd get a piece of paper or a pen, and I would start writing down, what do I really want? Like, what do I actually want in my life? What is the feeling that I'm looking for in my life? Am I looking to feel heard? Am I looking to feel free? Am I looking to feel excited by life, passionate, energized, thrilled? Am I looking to feel safe and secure? And it's really just getting clear on like, what do you really want? And not only do you want like the external things, but like, how does that having that thing make you feel? Because that's the key thing, right? Is like, we don't really need the external things to make us happy. What we want is the feeling that that thing will give us when we have it. So if you want to buy your own house and you really want to have your own house, it might not be that the house will actually make you happy and bring you fulfillment, your inner voice, your intuition fulfillment. It can be just that you want to feel secure. You want to feel safe. You want to feel comfortable. And just by recognizing and honoring that is a value of mine at this current phase of my life, or that's a feeling that my soul desires in this time, go toward the feeling. The second thing is you want to ask yourself, where am I not being honest with myself? Where am I not being authentic to who I am? Where am I avoiding who I am? Hello, guys. Oh, South Africa. That's so cool. Hello. Yeah, and feel free to, let me know in the comments here, the live comments, just let me know where you are. I'd love to just hear where in the world you are. But, to ask yourself, like, where am I hiding from myself? One of the reasons why I got so burned out earlier this year, I kept avoiding the fact that I wasn't being honest with the type of work I wanted to do. Hi, Kelly. Oh, hello, Kelly. I recognize your picture and your name. You're in London. Cool. But I started recognizing how, like, for a long time now, I've been wanting to make content on YouTube, online, doing other things and talking about other things, but also not even just talking about other things, but just being me on camera and just talking and just sharing my voice, unfiltered, just raw, honest, authentic. But I was so afraid because I had built a large, platform here on YouTube where it was all about French living and slowing my voice down and being peaceful and making these beautiful cinematic art pieces. And that was kind of what I was known for and what was popular, what people liked. Every time I posted a video on that content, it got picked up by the algorithm. And there was, more like people loved it. It made people happy. It made people calm. It made people peaceful. It would get emails saying, I feel so calm watching your videos. It helps put me to sleep. Or even just monetarily, like I would make more money. Sponsors would want to work with me. Brands would want to work with me. Brands that I love and like I've dreamed of working with, they finally came to my email and actually asked to work with me. So it was like all of this external pressure of you need to keep doing this because not only are you getting paid to do this, but you're getting your dreams fulfilled of working with brands you've always wanted to work with, and you're making an impact, a positive impact on people's lives. You have to keep doing it this way. And so for a long time, I just kept doing it because it's what people wanted. It's what people needed. And I felt a pressure to keep being consistent, Oh, hello, Marwan. I love that. Oh my gosh. I'm sending you all the cozy vibes. But I kept doing it because it's what made people happy and it's what people wanted. And I kept getting successful results for it. So obviously I have to keep doing it, right? Every single time that I pushed through and I sat at my desk and I started editing those videos, I would feel this sense of, do I have to keep doing this? And I kept pushing. And I kept pushing and I kept making the content and I kept doing it and finding different angles and different spins on the same topic over and over again until I was just done. Like, I don't want to talk about it ever again. Like, and that's where you don't make the same mistake that I did. I don't want you to make the same mistake of reaching that level of burnout that you never want to talk about it again, because that is when you've gone too far. And you want to stop yourself before you get to that point. And I'm now at a point, for you astrologers out there who know what I'm talking about, Uranus is currently squaring my moon on my MC in my 10th house very tightly. And there is just this sense of needing to be authentic and breaking free of anything that is not honest and integral and authentic to who I am. And with that, I've never felt more free in my life. And that freedom of voice, the freedom of self-expression, the freedom of being who I am, unfiltered and sharing all facets of me and not hiding behind a camera, not hiding, behind beautiful imagery or a voiceover. And there's just this point when you just stop because you can't do it anymore. And that's when you're free. But then after that burnout, there needs to be a stage of healing, right? So there needs to be a stage of stillness. And so I want to talk a little bit about stillness and how that can help you recover from burnout, because that's what I had to do. First off, I had to eliminate all distractions. I had to unfollow all the YouTubers, all the content creators that, were in my niche or that made similar content or that I looked up to, or, all of that. I had to completely unfollow. And I know that's extreme for some, but for me, I had to do it for my healing. I need to start over. So I need to eliminate distractions. Instagram accounts, followers, YouTubers, like everything, right? So I did that first. Then what I did was I started taking a lot less time on social. I know it's so sunny where I am in Tallinn. It's so warm. That's why I'm like out filming today, because it's gonna rain the next few days. And I'm like, I need to take advantage of this. It was raining all day yesterday. So I was like, I need to go out. But I had to unplug from Instagram, from distractions. And I'm really good about unplugging. Like, there'll be days where I'll just turn my phone on airplane mode or turn off the notifications, and I'll just put it in a drawer and it'll be there all day. And I won't even check it. I also have days where I check it many times a day. And I also have days where I just check on once in the morning, once at night, I post content and then I'm off. And I have 3 to 5 accounts that I really love, and I'll just keep checking in with those people because they make me happy. But thank you so much, Shakti. Thanks. I love my hair too. I just put in the heatless foam thing and I slept on it overnight. And so I eliminated distractions. I cut off the noise. I was like, no more. I'm leaving that. And so I turned it off. Stop scrolling, stop Googling, stop YouTube. I didn't even watch YouTube content. I haven't really watched YouTube content in a long time. I used to be a huge YouTube fan, and I would watch tons of content. When I was burned out, I had to just cut it off because I didn't want anything distracting me. And then what I did was I would put one hand on my heart and one hand on my chest. And something that really helps me is I will say still or slow, 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 slow. And I'm clear. Just saying the word slow and breathing and connecting with your body completely takes you out of whatever it is that's causing you stress or causing you fear. Breathing, being in touch with your physical body, and saying the word slow out loud. Sometimes when I'm stressed out or I'm doing a lot of things at once, I'll just hear my inner voice tell me slow. And I'm like, whoa. And I'll immediately feel peace. And I'll immediately feel calm. And I'll immediately feel held and secure and safe in that stillness. Slow living is about being slow wherever you are in the world, regardless if you're in the mountains or a farm or New York City or anywhere. It's about being slow in your body, in your presence, in your energy, in your intuition. Slow. There's no rush. There's no pressure. The only pressure you're putting on yourself is you. You're the one putting pressure on yourself. No one else is putting pressure. And that's something that I've had to learn with is when, people start wanting some content from you or similar content from you, that has no impact on you whatsoever. But it's what you make of it. If you decide, I need to listen to everyone and what they want, I need to honor them more than myself, then that's gonna hurt you, and that's gonna cause you to get burnt out. But if you take the power back within yourself, your self-sovereignty, your self-ownership, your self-empowerment, and say, I am the captain of my ship, I honor my heart, I lead with my heart completely, I live with authenticity every day, new ideas come to me easily, and they come with joy, and I connect with my inner voice every day, and I honor that fully. When you take that power back, that's when you become free. Because what everyone wants, what everyone else wants, it won't matter. You've completely eliminated the cord. You've cut off the plug. You've unplugged yourself from external sources and you've plugged yourself back into you. And that's where things get really magical. Look at these beautiful flowers, guys. That's beautiful. This is my burnout story and how I overcame it. I eliminated distractions, I cut off the noise, and then I got really clear on what do I feel excited about. If nothing else mattered and no one's voices mattered, my parents, my partner, my friends, my coworkers, anyone in your life, if you eliminated that distraction of what the shoulds are, if you eliminated the shoulds, and you just stayed authentic to what it is you need and what you feel called to talk about and what you feel excited about, naturally that will bring joy to others. And when you step into authenticity, you step into truth. Because here's the thing about authenticity, and this is why it kills. When you're not being authentic. When you're not being authentic, you literally are holding back your voice. You're holding back your truth. You're holding back your essence and your honesty, and you repress it. And when you repress something, you hold it in and confine it, constrict it, restrict it, and tighten it up. Resentment is one of the most deadly things I think out there. I think resentment causes sickness. Obviously, not right away, it takes time. It's like stress, right? Like when you get stressed and you're chronically stressed all of the time, every day, and you have like high cortisol and like in your body you're releasing cortisol and your heartbeat's racing all the time and you're always manic and you're always stressed, right? Eventually, over time, over a period of years, you can get sick from that. Like your body does not respond well to stress. And it's the same with resentment. When you hold in resentment on anything in life, grudges, not forgiving people, not forgiving situations, and you just hold that in so tightly, it simmers and it tightens and it affects the body. We become unhappy. Resentment is the worst kind of internal misery out there. And when you're not authentic, you will become resentful because you'll be mad at yourself for not being honest with yourself. But you also become resentful of people who are not allowing you to be authentic. Whether it's your partner, your boss, whoever in your life. Adrenal burnout, it will ruin your liver. Yes. Yeah, some of you guys have experienced this, I see in the comments. Yeah. And this is kind of when we're going into the woo. I don't know if you guys believe in Pleiadians or anything like that, but like people who kind of are here they feel a deep need to give, to serve people, to help other people. They want to give light and love, and they want to share, and they want to just give. Often those people are people pleasers, which is fine. People pleasing is fine to a certain extent. Your heart is open, your heart is full, your heart is generous, you just want to give. Problem is when people feel so much of that, they may constantly put their needs aside and want to do things for other people, that they don't listen to themselves anymore. They start silencing their voice. They start silencing their intuition, that little voice that's saying, but I want to try something new. Or, but I want to do this. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to do this. Or I want to take care of myself today. You start quieting that little voice that's whispering to you, and then they get sick. People who are constantly giving, people who care the most, they get sick. Have you ever noticed that? I noticed that so much in my life. It's the people who are so open-hearted and they want to give so much, they're the ones that end up getting sick. Because there's either no boundaries or they're not being authentic to what they really want. And I recognize that I've seen that so much in my life and in other people's lives, my clients, a lot of my clients that get sick, whether it's like Lyme disease or, just burnout, exhaustion, chronic fatigue. They're givers. They're open-hearted, love, light workers, kind people that just want to give and want to help. But there needs to come a point where it's like, is doing this still authentic? Is it gonna hurt me in the long run? I had a moment earlier this year when I was going through burnout, I had a moment where I literally heard in my voice and my inner voice, my internal guidance system. It was very peaceful and loving, but it said, if you don't stop, you're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna get sick if you don't stop. If you don't start listening to yourself, you're gonna get sick. And I just realized it doesn't matter, because I realized big picture perspective, right? Zooming out. And I talk about this in my book all the time, Slow Living. If you guys want to get the book, I'll include a link down below. But I talk about how important it is to zoom out and to see your life from a big picture perspective, and why it matters that you think about death and you think about what would it mean if I got really sick and I couldn't live my life fully the way I want? If my life was cut short, what would that mean? And having a benevolent relationship with death and mortality, and being aware of it, but having a good relationship with it, right? Not being afraid of it. There's no need to be afraid of it. There's no need to be afraid of death. But just recognizing how beautiful and sacred and precious your life is, and why when you zoom out and you see your life from a big picture perspective, you stop worrying about the small things. You stop worrying about making people happy or being popular or being successful or making more money. There's a YouTuber out there who I love. I'm such a fan of hers. She makes the most beautiful films. And I don't know her personally, so I can't even comment. I've never talked to her. But she has said in so many videos how burnt out she is. And I'm just like, there's gonna come a point where you're not gonna be able to keep doing it in the same way, because it's almost like, if you are starting to tell your audience that you're burnt out and you're tired, that means it's been a long time coming. Like, you've known it for a long time and you're now being vulnerable and honest to share it with your audience that you're burnt out. But if it's been a year and you're still telling your audience you're burnt out, like, that is a red flag. Like, you need to slow down. And I was just, this person got me thinking about creatives, and why if a creative gets successful in any capacity, because creatives are so soft-hearted or warm-hearted or sensitive, intuitive, what have you, and givers, I think creatives are givers. We want to give art to uplift the world, to make people happy, right? But when you give so much that you stop honoring your voice of slow down, make less videos, make less content, listen to yourself, and you keep telling your audience you're burnt out, that's not being, a good influence. Yeah, it is Wendy. It is Wendy. I love her. I'm a huge fan of hers. Like, I absolutely adore her. Nothing but amazing things to say about her. She's just such a light, such an inspiring light. I just adore her. But I worry about her, and I worry about other creatives out there too. Like, other creatives who are burnt out, but they're not listening to that little whisper because they want to make people and their followers happy. And they're afraid of slowing down. They're afraid of listening to themselves. And so I'm saying this to all the creatives out there. All of the people who, just are putting their lives out there, or creative, or maybe you're an artist, maybe you're a maker, maybe you're a fabric designer, or a jewelry designer, or a home interior decorator, whatever it is you do. Listen to yourself and honor your inner voice. And I had a moment where I had to own that. And I had a moment where I had to recognize, is it worth it? Is fame worth it? Is success worth it? Is working with brands worth it? No, it's not. It's not worth it at all, because my health matters. My energy, my vitality, my joy of seeing life. And when I tell you how sad I was when I was burnt out, how I had no energy and nothing in me, and I just wanted to sleep on the couch all day because I was so burnt out, that is not how I want to live my life. That's not how I want to live any second of my day-to-day life. And so stop before it's too late. Stop before you get to the warning signs of that, of physical burnout, of being exhausted and depleted. When you hear that first inner whisper that says, I really don't want to do that anymore. Do I have to keep doing this? When you stop getting excited about the creative things that brought you joy, that is a wake up. That's the wake up call. And you don't have to get to the point of physical exhaustion to stop. You can stop before then. Because when you get to the point of physical exhaustion, it's too late. It's too late. And if you're starting to tell everyone that you're burnt out, it's too late. What are your tips? I mentioned some tips earlier in the video, but it's the slow, the still, eliminating distractions, cutting out social media noise, unfollowing a lot of people if you need to, finding new things, by the way. I think it's really important to explore and experiment with new things. Like for me, for instance, I had to explore and dabble in lots of different hobbies and interests. For me, that creates balance in my life. Anytime I'm focused too much on one thing, it makes me exhausted. I have to have other hobbies. I have to have other pastimes that are not for public consumption. They're not for other people, but it's just for me. That's important. And also doing less, like cutting back your schedule, cutting back anything that you're giving too much attention and energy to, whether it's working with clients one-on-one, or it's spending a lot of time going out, or it's watching a lot of YouTubers, scrolling endlessly on social media. Like, you need to pare down, you need to pare back. And here's the thing, guys, I want to tell you something that's really fascinating. Are you ready? Every year, I don't know if you guys notice this, every year I take a week completely off of everything. Social media, Instagram, YouTube, email, everything. Everything. I cut off for 1 week, everything. I don't look at my phone for a week. I don't look at the internet for a week. I'm completely cut off. That week is like the best week of my life. Every year, it's the best week of the year. And it's because I get so clear on everything in my life. Who I am, what I want, what I dream of. Like, I'm getting emotional just thinking about this week that I have every year. Every year I do this, and it's like, I'm gonna do more of it. I wanna do it once every quarter. Like every quarter I take a full week off, because I get so, exactly Shakti, centeredness. It's like, I'm so grounded. I'm so connected with life, with nature, with the wind, with me, with love, with connection, with purity of heart. Like all of the good things that you think about of love and like that lightness of spirit, I feel that because I am cut off from everything. And that week, if you can, once a quarter, once a year, take 1 week off of everything. Social media, tech, everything, email, everything, so text, everything. Like turn everything on notifications off. And I'm telling you, you will learn more about yourself in 1 week than you will in your entire life. Like, it is profound. It is striking. Every time I come out of that week, I'm like, whoa, what did I just experience? And after my 1 week off this summer, I've never felt more just sure and just full of love and full of just following my heart. And there's no burnout. The burnout's gone because I started listening to myself and I started honoring what it is I need to do in order to take care of myself. And I will say this, guys, when you start taking care of yourself and you start living true to you, your authentic self, not only do you feel physically better, you'll feel lighter, you'll feel a lightness, but you'll also feel free. When I think of authenticity, I think of free. I think of the feeling of freedom, of spaciousness, of truth, of connection. with self, with love, with life, with people, with everything. And that feeling is unmatched, it's unparalleled. You know? It's unparalleled. It's the best feeling in the world. It's better than joy. Honestly, authenticity, it's better than, like, the freedom is better than, like, anything. It's similar to presence and beingness. Not happiness, not joy, but beingness and presence. It feels something like that, like authenticity, like being actually authentic. Question from Marwan, are Europeans addicted to social media, YouTube, same as North Americans? I don't know, I don't think so. I think it's largely North Americans, actually. I don't want to say that's a sure thing, but I've met a lot of French women and French like women and guys my age in France and Paris and all these different cities, and they're definitely on social media, but they're nowhere near as addicted to YouTube, TikTok, all of that, as much as Americans, North Americans. But anyway, I just wanted to pop on today and just share with you guys about burnout and why it's so important, because it does kill over time, over years, over a period of years. And I had a wake-up call where I had to recognize, where am I not being authentic with myself? And when I started making decisions every day, like, and that's another thing, it's deciding. I am deciding this is what I'm doing, even though people may not like it, even though people may be disappointed, even if I don't have the same amount of like making money, because like, God knows, I don't make any money here on YouTube anymore. Like, I used to make like good money when I made France videos. Now I'm making like $100 and $150 a month doing everything on YouTube. To me, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. The money's not worth it. The views aren't worth it. Everything, it's not worth it, because there's that sense of like, I'm dying a little. I'm exchanging money and views, but I'm selling my soul. And I'm not going to sell my soul. I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to, you know, not be honest and true. And I'm not going to get sick either. I'm not going to allow my body to get tired and sick and ill and resentful and holding in that, right? So anyway, I will post this video on the replay so you can watch it back. If you did want any help in, you know, getting clear on who you are and what it is you need, your values, your authentic self, all of that, I talk a lot about it in my book, but I also will include some free meditations, a free journal that I created for you with some journal prompts if you want to get that. There's some free downloads, little gifts I've created down below in the description. And also, if you wanted to go further, I do have an intuitive living bundle, a little course where I've got like 14, 15 meditations that will help you, guide you into hypnosis, get some clarity on answers. My best answers always come when I'm in meditation. They come in meditation when I'm at a low brain state. When I'm in a low brain state and I'm kind of like half asleep, not asleep yet, but I'm like in that limbo period where my brain is like relaxed. And then that's when the ideas come in. Like, my best ideas in life have come in meditation. Meditation. It's everything. It's everything. You'll get your answers, your clarity when you slow down, when you breathe, when you connect with your body, when you relax so deeply that your subconscious starts bringing you answers. And that's what those meditations in my Slow Intuitive Living bundle will help you with. I also have a cool workbook in there, a big workbook to help you slow down and get clarity on your answers, and yeah, a journal, an ebook, things like that. All right, well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna actually film. I want to show you guys. Here is my camera. You guys were always curious, like, how do you film? Here's my little camera. Got a little mini lens here because it's lightweight. It's good for me to carry. And then I've got a little mini tripod here. Oh, thank you, Monique. The meditations are fantastic in the bundle. Thank you, Monique. I put my heart and soul into those. I'm so proud of them. It was the first big project I ever made. And my voice is really soothing and calming for those of you guys that need peace. But see this little tripod? And I just like put this on the bench here. And then what I'll do is I'll like prop this out. Actually, let me move this. I'll prop this thing out. And then, yeah. And then I start filming my videos. So that's how I film my videos. If you're like, how does she get footage of herself? How does she like film herself walking around and stuff? Who's holding the camera? It's just a little tripod. All right, well, I'll let you guys go. Have a magical day. I'm enjoying beautiful Estonia. I'm gonna get some pretty video footage because it's so beautiful and I'm so inspired by the light today and the shadows and the way it's creating these little magical beams on the buildings. But I'll be checking in again, and I'm sending you a big hug, and I hope you have a magical day. Bye! Oh, Greenville, South Carolina! Cool! I've been doing a lot of research on Greenville, South Carolina, actually, and also the Walhalla suburb just out of Greenville. I'm like exploring that area a lot. I'm doing a lot of my own personal research on that area. Yeah, I love it. I haven't been there, but I've been feeling called to check out that area, so that's so cool you're from Greenville. Okay, all right, bye guys. Have a magical day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.